Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Savinka Ramadhani, and today I will be presenting my analysis of women's empowerment in Blink Twice 2024 film directed by Zoe Kravitz. And in this analysis, I will be using Naila Kabir's theory of empowerment to examine how this film both succeeds and also fails in representing women's empowerment. So before we go down to the analysis itself, I will tell you the summary of the film briefly. So, Blink Twice tells the story of Frida, who is a cocktail waitress that is being invited to a private island by a billionaire named Slater King. But she didn't go there alone because she also brings her friend Jess. At first, everything seems like a dream. There are luxury villas, unlimited champagne, and even a beautiful parties. So when Jess starts to realize something is wrong after she gets bitten by a snake, she tells Frida she wants to leave, but Frida ignores her because she is enjoying the luxury life. Soon after, Jess suddenly goes missing. Frida then drinks snake venom given by a worker, which it helps her to remember the truth about the island. She also gives the venom to Sarah and other women so they can all regain their memories. Together, they fight back against the men who have been abusing them. In the end, Frida and Sarah are the last women standing. Frida lets Slater leave, but she takes his wealth, his power, and even erases his memory. And then she becoming the new CEO of his company. And the slide 3 is the theory. Yep. Now we go to the theory. I am using Naila Kabir's theory of empowerment. Who is Naila Kabir? Naila Kabir is a prominent scholar in gender and development studies. In her 1999 article, she defines empowerment as a process of change. So, what does this mean? According to Kabir, empowerment is not an instant event. It is a gradual process where people grow their ability to make important life decisions, especially in situations where they were previously unable to do so. And Kabir breaks empowerment down into 3 key models: resources, agency, and achievements. And I will use these 3 models to evaluate Frida's journey in Blink Twice. Now let's take a look at the first evidence when Jess becomes conscious. This evidence comes early in the film. So, in this scene, Jess gets bitten by a snake during a night party, and then she immediately feels something is wrong in the island and also with the people. She tells Frida, "It feels weird. I want my phone. I want to go home." However, when Jess tells that, Frida denies Jess' awareness. She tells Jess just to relax and enjoy the vacation, because Frida is blinded by the luxury she has never experienced before: the private villa, the fine food, and even the unlimited champagne. This scene is important because it shows the beginning of the empowerment as a process of change. Jess gains consciousness first, but Frida refuses to listen. This contrast highlights a key challenge in women's empowerment. Sometimes women who are finally given privilege become blind to the dangers around them. So at this point, I can see that the process of change has started, but it is not yet complete because it's just the beginning of the process. In the 5th slide is the second evidence when Frida lets Sarah drink snake venom. This evidence is shown the turning point in the film. After Jess goes missing, Frida realizes she cannot remember what happened. A worker suddenly gives her snake venom, and after drinking it, Frida's memories come flooding back. She finally understands the truth about the island and the man's abuse. Frida then gives the venom to Sarah. Sarah asks, "You think snake's venom gonna make us remember?" And Frida confirms it will. This moment represents the successful transition in Kabir's empowerment model. So, Frida moves from denial phase to strategic action. She uses the venom to regain her memory, and more importantly, she also shares it with Sarah to build collectivity among the women. So, according to Kabir, empowerment is not just an individual process, it requires collective actions. By waking up other women, Frida shows that true empowerment means bringing others along with you. So, this is the most successful part of the film in terms of women's empowerment. And the third evidence in the sixth slide is when Frida becomes the new CEO. After all the bloody mess, all the fighting, Frida survives and replaces later King as a tech CEO. She gains his wealth, his mansion, and his authority. She even erases his memory so he cannot remember what happened. At first glance, this might look like empowerment. Frida taken control of her life and defeated her abuser. However, if we look closely through Kabir's lens, this scene actually fails the empowerment model. First, resources. Frida gains wealth and power, but it is not a strategic choice she simply inherits the abuser's position after a bloody mess. Second, agency. She uses violence and threat to achieve her goals. Kabir explains that agency can be positive or negative, and Frida's agency in this case is definitely negative. Third, achievements. She only achieves her own individual goals because she does not care that Sarah leaves her alone at the end. She also does not care about the other who were dead. She has not built a sustainable future for the other woman. So, while Frida has gained power, she has not achieved true empowerment. And the seventh slide is the conclusion. So, what can I conclude from this analysis? Well, Blink Twice successfully shows the process of change, which is the core idea of Kabir's definition of empowerment. Frida does grow from a naive waitress into someone who can make a strategic life decision. However, the film fails all three of Kabir's model: resources, agency, and achievements. Frida gains resources but not as a strategic choice. She also used agency, but it is negative and violent. And then she achieves her goals, but it is only for herself, leaving the other women behind. And the most important conclusion is this: the process of change cannot stand alone without resources, agency, and achievements working together. True empowerment is not achieved. In the end, Frida becomes the abuser herself by erasing memories and taking her abuser's resources. So, this is the tragedy of the film. Frida has survived, but she has not been truly empowered. So, for the references, I use Naila Kabir's article from 1999 titled Resources, Agency, Achievements, Reflection on Measurement of Women's Empowerment, published in Development and Change. And of course, the film itself, Blink Twice, directed by Zoe Kravitz and released by Warner Bros. Pictures in 2024. Thank you for listening, and I hope this analysis has given you a deeper understanding of women's empowerment in film. And sorry for all of the mistakes I've made. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.